general nerdery.
All right, this is also going to tie into my ingesting in a few minutes, but like it's kind of separate thing, but happened at the same place. I went to the first Montana Championship Wrestling show last weekend, like first ever. And we will talk about that in a minute. But the things that happened, this is going to seem like a weird bounce. For people who do not know me, I tend to make my own pants. I tend to sew my own pants. And yes, there have been a couple of times where I've been watching wrestling lately and went, I've definitely used that fabric before. Like I definitely. And so I was wearing pants that were bright blue lightning bolts and bright pink lightning bolts all over. Like it's very comfortable. And as I'm walking by, the guy who ends up winning the championship belt that night is like, those are sick pants, dude. And I'm like, thank you. Professional wrestler just complimented my pants. I did not know that I needed that. Those are man's pants. I'm like, that's weird, but okay. Like, and he is wearing, his name is like Bootleg Dave or something like that. And he's wearing nothing but overalls that just have XXX on his butt. He was incredible. But
I've definitely said that exact same thing to you about your pants in the walk-in before. And
about being
those
man's
are man
pants.
Yep, verbatim.
And I was like, sweet, okay. This was a fun little moment. I might bring that up. But then afterwards, a guy takes one look at me, like after the show was over, we've seen all of the matches, and goes, y'all put on a really good show tonight. Sir, I am not one of the wrestlers. Like, there were like 6 wrestlers and you saw all of them. Like I am.
And now Zach has his wrestling persona, the bystander.
So
I mean, it's fucking great. And you're in the crowd, and then you just come out of the crowd because they thought you were a wrestler.
one of the wrestlers came and sat next to us while we were watching, but we'll get to that. And also, I know what my persona would be. I've talked about this with someone.
No,
but,
you're the bystander now.
You know,
Tyler found it. It's better.
I've heard worse for like the indie scene wrestling. But yeah, I was like, man, did not expect to be mistaken for one of the wrestlers today. And everyone else was around me was like, yeah, dude. Like, have you seen your, like, I'm wearing a fucking tank top hoodie and fucking blue and pink lightning pants, and I think I had a bandana on, and they're like, was this not? Like,
Yeah.
Also, but you're at a wrestling event. Like,
I dressed in fairness, that's pretty close to how I normally dress, too. Like,
We know this, but I guess the listeners might not.
the thing the listeners need to know is that Zach dresses like he's going to a wrestling event. So why are people...
As the wrestler.
I am wearing a cowboy hat with flames on it. Like, this is, okay.
He's like 1.5 steps from being Shawn Michaels right now.
Okay, actually, now that I think about it, the wardrobe for...
I know that's not exactly the most
Macho
flattering.
Man Randy Savage, please.
Not with that style.
With the hat, though. No, I actually tried to get some Seth Rollins looking stuff, and I put it on. I was like, oh, I look more like Macho Man with my beard and my size, but with less steroids. That dude had a lot of steroids. Anyways, welcome to General Nerdery, your podcast about liking things. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
And we went way far into this episode before doing this intro. And that's Steven.
Oh, hi, I'm Steven.
We are here today to talk to you about some knives that are in fact out. And a movie that everyone knew I was going to love, and then I fucking loved it. So,
We knew.
yeah.
We knew.
Now, none of the stuff today, apparently about me, is a surprise. So here we all are. But before that, what have we been ingesting?
This might be the least I have to bring up in a while.
That's okay.
Because, like, if you listen to our other show, Word Balloons, which you should go listen to our other show, Word Balloons.
Really love Word Balloons. I had someone pop up and be like, I've been listening to your voice. And I'm like, that's a weird way of putting this. Like,
I've been listening to your voice.
You tell me a good way to tell me that you've been listening to a podcast.
Hey,
I'm
man,
on.
I heard your podcast.
Still weird.
Less weird than I've been listening to your voice as a way of saying good morning.
I've been listening to your voice.
But also, I hope you keep listening.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, go listen to Word Balloons. You would know that a big chunk of my time lately has been took up by rereading all 50 issues of Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the main thing I ingested. And the only other thing of note was that you guys saw me playing a little bit of it last week. The new Claire Obscure Expedition 33 RPG that came out of nowhere and like swept the world by storm.
And also is the talk of the nerdiest parts of the kitchen.
Yeah,
That's a pretty
amazing
nerdy spot. Our kitchen is full of fucking dorks.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. It's fucking incredible. Give me more. Actually, as much as I'm saying that, I barely played it this weekend, and I actually even had time to, and I got sucked back into an idea I had in Elden Ring, but that's because me and ideas in Elden Ring and weed.
Yeah, that actually tracks.
Yeah, I get that.
But like, if you haven't heard of this game, if you're one of the few, I feel like at this point, because of it legit just sort of swept the world by storm, guys. New RPG from a French studio who apparently is a bored former Ubisoft dev, with most of the rest of the studio being junior devs. Half of them, I think, this being their first game.
Damn.
I'm not sure how true this is, but I'm pretty sure I read that they found the writer for the game off of Reddit and the composer off of SoundCloud. And holy fuck, it's good.
What little I've seen of it, it looks next level. I at first thought you were playing like a big-ass Bethesda game, like a Dishonored-ass game at first.
The best way to describe it is, what I've been describing it as is, hey, Western gamer, we think you would like JRPGs, but you're probably scared off by some of the implications of the J. So we're going to turn that. So we're going to turn that into F for French.
FRPG.
Because it kind of is just, it plays like a turn-based JRPG. A lot of the game is very rooted in anything that you have ever ran into in a JRPG.
Even though it was so much more, obviously, like, upgraded and beautiful, it was giving me hardcore old school, like, PS1 era Final Fantasies or Legend of Dragoon.
Fucking love Legend of Dragoon.
Oh my god.
Great game. Fantastic game.
The angriest I have ever been as a child is when I was staying with some people for a while and their shithead nephew stole my copy of Legend of Dragoon and, like, fucked up 2 of the discs. No. I'm like, you have no idea how expensive that would be to replace.
No. Anyway, and yeah, it's just really well done. Legitimately, the soundtrack jumped into at least my top 3 favorite video game soundtracks of all time. I've already, even though I'm only a few hours into the game, I wasn't able to help myself from even potentially spoiling myself, and I have listened through to the entire soundtrack a couple times at this point.
Tony Hawk, Spyro the Dragon, that one song from Mario Kart 8.
I really love all the music in modern Need for Speed games.
I've never played much Need for Speed.
Oh, they're so good.
I am good at one kind of kart game, or racing game, and that is kart games.
This is like the most kartiest simmy kart game, if that makes, or
Sure,
like,
yeah.
like a simmy racing game that actually feels like a kart game.
Oh, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Fucking great soundtrack.
Oh,
on that
well
one.
then Jet Set Radio Future and
Yes,
Jet Set
yes,
Radio.
yes.
Is
I love Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack. I listen to Hello Allison quite often still.
I try and put it on at work, but it's a little too...
Yeah, I've tried the dish room, and I'm like, this is...
It's a little too funky fresh for the crowd we got rolling.
It's also a lot at fucking 6:30 in the morning to be listening to that much funky fresh in the dish room.
Fuck, now I just want to double down on it.
Do it. But I guess if anybody's wondering what it's actually about, it's there's like whatever land you're in, this fucking alternate weird France analog. Off across this giant sea is this giant goddess, giant being of some sort that they call the Paintress. And right up above where she's continually sitting is a big number, and it's been counting down from 100. And
That's probably not good.
And that number, every year, everyone who hits that age gets, like, turned into flowers and apparently are dead and sucked into her. And so every year they also send an expedition to try to kill her. And so this is like Logan's Run year.
Expedition 33. So, okay, I get it now.
Okay.
We'd be dead.
And it's been counting down this entire time. So there's, like, the oldest people left in this city are 32 because all the 33s just got killed.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, you just made this game so much darker than it seemed like it was going to be based off what we were watching.
I mean, I was picking up on how grimdark it was.
Sure, but there's like anime grimdark bullshit, which is JRPGs, I say in the most loving way possible. And then there's anyone over 33 turns into a flower and dies, which is still, but
well, it was only 33 this year. Next year it's 32.
Does Jet Set Radio Future count as a JRPG?
No, because it's not really like
it's not really any.
It's not really an RPG.
Okay, then I can't think of any JRPGs I've ever played. That was my surest bet, other than maybe Pokemon.
Technically,
I mean,
kind of.
Pokemon has a lot of it's turn based.
It is a turn based RPG. It just doesn't have storyline in the way that like you ever play like the old Final Fantasy games.
Never.
Well, every single story. I like the Final Fantasy games, but every single storyline is fucking nonsense.
And it seems to. There's going to be some sort of twist, and I don't even know what it is.
Sure.
Like, as it is, I'm already sort of heading out to, like, face God, and that tends to be kind of what the twist is in a lot of those other JRPGs.
Why is it always that you have to punch God in the face?
Yeah, a lot of JRPGs, it's like, oh, you have to win this local tournament, high school kid, to show that you're the best karate fighter in the land. And then by the end of it, it's like, you have to punch God in the face or else your entire family's going to be obliterated and wiped from existence. They will have never lived in the first place.
Also, God is an 8-legged horse with glowing things around him.
But could not stand up to Kirby.
And devil wings.
Do I have to go, like, see God, or is God going to, like, come to me? Because I'll just punch God in the face.
What about Kingdom Hearts? Did you ever play Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Okay.
My roommate at one time did, and I watched them play some of I watched them play through several of the lowest bar, like not bar, I don't know how to even describe it, but like the spin-off integers of like Dream Drop Distance and Remix, and like they're not the main title games, they're secondary main
Fucking keeping track of the Kingdom Hearts games is worse than Street Fighter.
Exactly. I believe they were originally released on
worse
the
than Mortal
DS
Kombat
and like the PSP era stuff. So I'm loosely familiar with the concepts, and I've watched my roommates at certain times play JRPGs, but I don't think I have any firsthand experience.
They're nonsense, but they're nonsense that I traditionally enjoyed.
This looked enjoyable to me from what little I've watched of it.
Yeah, and like the real time aspect of it, which is also nothing new. I remember doing that with like Super Mario RPG back in the day, timing your attacks right to get extra damage and shit off of them. But in this one, the attack patterns and combos of the enemies are complicated enough that it does kind of also remind me of like a Souls-like game.
Interesting. And see, I've watched former roommates play through a bunch of Souls games, so that makes sense.
Super loving it. Not at all going to be surprised if it ends up being like my favorite piece of media this year, honestly.
It depends on how many times you have to punch God in the face.
Probably so many fucking times. If I have to punch God in the face, I hope this time I at least also get to punch God in the dick.
You know what? It's the year 2025. We've all earned it.
That's about it.
Hell yeah. And listeners, I'm sorry if I tread over the same stuff I've already went over. I just don't remember what I talked about last time. But me and my wife just finished the newest season of Animal Control. We loved it. Fucking great sitcom. Just solid workplace comedy. Very enjoyable. I also finished watching
Turned a true corner into a little will they, won't they?
Yes.
Finally.
Yes, but also, yes, finally. But also, I very much like how they're setting up it was fun because I was just like, I like how they're setting up this other will they, won't they? Because it feels like they're backburnering this will they, won't they?
Mm-hmm.
And then they did not backburner that will they, won't they? I've said will they, won't they too many times.
Yep.
But yeah, loved it. Excited for more if they're doing more. I haven't seen any news of season 4, but
Yeah, I guess I also haven't looked it up yet, but
when I looked it up, they hadn't reported anything. But also finished watching through Tacoma FD, which I don't think is going to get a season 4. Never
Season
know.
5? Did it get 3 or 4 seasons?
I think it got 3 seasons.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
I finished what's on Netflix. I think that it only got 3 seasons. It might have 4. I don't recall offhand.
Either way, it's done. And it's not even like possibly done. It's done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's done.
5 days ago, Animal Control got renewed for a 4th season.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. I'm excited for that. Yeah, pretty sure Tacoma FD's done. I don't think it's coming back. It does end on a weird cliffhanger that is just weird.
Yeah, but I also, cool. If it's done, I'm also not sad.
Yeah, if it's done, I'm also not sad. And also, I can headcanon the end of that pretty well enough that I'm comfortable with whatever happens.
I still need to watch the final season. I'm liking it enough, we're liking enough that you have both finished it now, and I've mostly finished it. But, it's also it's a solid B sitcom.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
At this point, I would say Animal Control is better than
Considerably more enjoyable. Generally, I feel like that one's a little bit more farcical, kind of like slapsticky humor, more so than Animal Control is. Just the ratios, and I feel like my wife didn't enjoy Tacoma FD as much as I did, and she's definitely more inclined to watch Animal Control with me than she was to watch.
The thing about Tacoma FD is the characters never really grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what keeps it from being a, really great sitcom. I say as someone who puts 30 Rock as one of the best, and they don't fucking grow at all on that show.
No, which you bringing 30 Rock makes me want to do a rewatch.
Liz Lemon kind of grows up, but the rest of them.
But that's about it, yeah. I mean, Jack does get some growth, actually. He does develop as, an emotional human.
Okay.
More so.
Two of them grow, and then everyone else just gets worse.
And Jack McBraier's character definitely does not grow at all. Ever.
Age.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And then randomly, I've been watching a bunch of movies as well, and
Shocking.
the smattering is random, as actually not that shocking, considering I just fucking pick a movie and watch it. I watched Paul.
Been a while since I watched Paul.
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Aliens?
Yes. Yep. Weird that Edgar Wright isn't involved, but it's a delightful road trip comedy.
Did he not even produce on that?
I don't think he did.
Weird. For some reason, I felt like he had some hand in it, even though I knew for sure he didn't direct. But
as far as I know, he had no hand in it. I've never seen it listed on his filmography.
Cool.
But it's delightful. It's worth a watch. It's real fun. I also watched Iron Man, the first Iron Man, and I might be watching through all of the Marvel movies slowly. Because I haven't watched through them in about 7 years.
I was going to say, I think I watched the first Iron Man movie 5-6 years ago.
Something like.
It is fascinating to see how much action movies, especially big budget action movies, have changed between Iron Man and Infinity War.
Right? Just the amount of practical effect they're still doing alone as just a concept, and then just the general pacing and flow of the movie. I do know it's an origin story, but it's 40 minutes before he's out of the desert. And that's a third of the movie. which is wild how much they then just rapid fire through the rest of the movie and how much they focused on that emotional turmoil for him.
But, like, I miss that simultaneously. Like, I've been liking most of the movies that have come out, but Iron Man took its time. And part of this, it's part of the reason why I've been arguing, like, anytime I see people get excited about the next Avengers movie having, like, 45 characters in it or something, like, that's great, that's cool. Event comics are fun, but I want more of these character pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my favorite Marvel movies have been very good character examinations, more so than giant action pieces. The best ones are both, but...
Sure. But, like, great example, I've only seen the first one of them, but the first Spider-Man, Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
You need to see the rest of those.
I know!
Yes.
I know!
Yes. I also watched The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Sorry.
I knew that just because of your group text.
I watched, the fun part was that I watched it right after we recorded our Word Balloons episode that will be coming up in a future season. I don't know when it'll air.
It'll be coming up.
But we cover the Hulk. Hence why Tyler read through all of fucking Immortal Hulk. But this Hulk definitely kill. Or at least don't care about killing.
It was always the awkward thing with the Hulk where they were like, the Hulk has never actually killed anyone, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But the few times they've been like, well, Hulk blew up large parts of Las Vegas again. What you gonna do about that, Tony? Like, really, like, there's weird levels of what you can do with a character like Hulk in a shared universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't have him destroying a city, being responsible for thousands of deaths, and a member of the Avengers, in theory. And I think that's why we don't really talk about the Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
One of, like, 8 reasons.
Is wild. I love that I always felt like the bit with Tony Stark showing up was a deleted scene and not actually in the final cut.
No, they just hadn't quite figured out what post-credit scenes were going to be yet.
Yeah, and he shows up in the post-credit scene, so it is in the canon, and I always thought that was not the case, which is weird to rewatch it and find that. This movie fucking had so many little drops that I'm now recognizing of just like, oh yeah, that's a bit. Oh yeah, that's a bit. Oh yeah, that's a Hulk reference. Oh, this is a different Hulk reference.
I love that they were setting up the guy from Modern Family to be fucking Doc Samson.
Is that who they were setting him up to be? I didn't catch that reference.
Yeah. He's Leonard Sampson. He's the therapist.
Like I said, this movie sets up so many fucking like things in that I'm forgetting his name. He's the big brain guy.
The leader.
The leader. They set up the leader, and
that paid off like 3 months ago. Because he's in Captain America: Brave New World.
Exactly.
Don't like the final design they went with.
No, but that's fine. I don't like the leader much, anyways.
Which knowing that like that movie is now like paid off in Captain America: Brave New World is wild because the guy who plays Thunderbolt Ross isn't alive anymore, so they had to recast with
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford now. It's fucking wild. And fucking, what is his name? Roth.
Eli Roth.
No.
From Tim Roth?
Tim Roth as Abomination.
Which paid off in She-Hulk. He was great in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That's partly the reason I kind of want to rewatch some of these movies is that I kind of want to. I'm way behind on the TV stuff that they put out for Marvel.
Also,
or
they fixed the
Disney Plus.
A-bomb look, so he actually looks like Abomination instead of whatever the fuck that was in Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
They fix it.
It looks
way
good.
better.
It looks like real good.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I remembered enjoying it. It's definitely bad.
I've always thought that movie gets a worse rap than it deserves, which is not arguing that it's good.
It also is not an origin story. They do a little like oh, he's the fucking Hulk.
It is a soft
montage
sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk.
It's a soft sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk. That's probably what I'm thinking about.
That one's bad.
Yeah, that one's bad. That one I had on DVD, so I watched it a lot because I was the kind of nerd who watched what I had, and I was into Marvel.
I mean, I'm not blaming. So did I, because that was the era of superhero movies where you watched what you could get. I watched 10 seasons of Smallville a lot. Like, I don't get to say shit to anybody.
Yeah, same. And then I also followed that up by watching Legally Blonde and Legally Blonde 2 in a double feature sitting.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, those movies are incredible.
I know that I've seen the second one, but I don't remember it near as much.
I've seen it. I can only say that I've seen it maybe. My mom and my sister watched it a lot, but it was definitely one that I didn't watch frequently. I think I can honestly say I've only ever watched it in its entirety once before this rewatch. The premise is basically she's at a legal firm. It is the wildest, like, shifting of focus movie that there's no main focus of story. She's doing a wedding planning thing. She's trying to get leveled up, like, be a partner at this firm. She goes to a private investigator to find her dog's birth mother. And then
So it just really went off the rails.
It went off the rails because she wants to find the dog's birth mother to invite her to the wedding that she's having at Wrigley Field with Luke Wilson's character from the first movie.
Right.
Tracks down the dog's mom. Turns out the dog is at an animal testing facility. And this then sets off the rest of the movie of being fucking about her losing her, like not wanting to work for this thing. They fire her. She then goes to fucking DC to write a bill to stop animal testing. And it's just like the wildest, just like roller coaster of just like, what is going on? I can't tell. She goes to Washington to write an animal rights bill and like stop animal testing. That also involves gay dogs. That also involves fucking just learning about politics and voter, how to write a bill. It's fucking wild. It's still charming. It's got a great cast of people in it. It's got Bob Newhart in it.
Sure, fun.
As like the hotel concierge guy that just like works the front end.
How many movies in the in the 90s and early 2000s had hotel doorman or concierge or whatever?
That's what he was. He was a doorman.
Who is like full of some wit and wisdom, and like people made whole careers just off playing that doorman in like 8 unrelated movies.
And that's his whole shtick, is that he's worked it here so long. He knows everybody. He knows all of the politics. He knows how to help her write this bill. It's legit fucking wild of a roller coaster of movie, in that like her dog is like several plot points at multiple points of just like, well, she has to track down her dog's birth mom, and that sets off the rest of the movie. And then her dog turns out to be gay, which then sets off a secondary plot point later on that helps her pass the bill she's trying to pass, because the dog her dog's in love with, Texas senator who's really fucking conservative, but he's got a really gay dog.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the show Alpha House?
No.
It's from the creator of the guy who wrote Doonesbury, like the comic.
Okay.
book.
Yeah.
And it stars fucking Dad from Roseanne.
John Goodman.
John Goodman. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, Fred Flintstone.
Yes, Fred Flintstone. And it's about a bunch of like old school Republican senators that were like, you know...
Oh, I'm familiar with the show. I never
early
watched it.
2000s, late 90s era Republicans were like, let's be honest, they still suck, but like they were not ready for the Tea Party sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember really enjoying it. And then Donald Trump got elected and they kind of quietly stopped talking about making any more of it. Because the world of politics changed real fast. And like, it was funny, and it was exactly the kind of show that would have my gay dog is going to affect my vote in this, but I've been too scared to watch it in the post.
It's 100% early 2000s gay panic kind of like humor of like, or like reactionary to gay panic kind of humor at that point. Because it's not even like trying to be like a funny joke. It's that like, well, actually there is a very good bit about them just like not understanding that their dogs are both male and their dogs are gay, and that the receptionist is trying to explain it. And she has like, your dogs are gay.
Okay.
Like level of read to explain to them. I really enjoy them. They're fun movies. The first one, comic gold and 100% classic
Amazing.
movie. The second one, weird and worth watching only because it's a sequel, and I think you don't need to watch it more than once.
All right. I got 2 things, and they're both wrestling related. Well, I guess 3, but one's going to be real fast. I promise I have a life outside of wrestling. This was just like the weekend for that. This timing stuff. One, real quick, I kind of have started rewatching Farscape.
Okay.
I needed to put something on while I was working on a project, and I just needed something in the background, and I was like, well, nothing's grabbing me, and I'm, Farscape. And I just jumped straight to the end of season 3, the beginning of season 4, so like where they blow up Scorpius's ship and destroy his wormhole technology. And then the next time we see Crichton, he's trapped on the dead Leviathan with a beard and losing his mind.
Oh, you just jumped way the fuck ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted like episodes I knew were fun.
Episodes you knew were fun, eh?
Farscape fun. Hey, to make it worse, I considered the like 3-parter where second Crichton dies and was like, that might be a little much for it.
Okay,
like,
so you were... Out of curiosity, just to switch gears a little bit, Tyler, what episode of Farscape would you put on for fun? Because I would probably put on something like 3 Crichtons.
Oh God, for fun?
The ones where he gets turned into a statue.
Oh, that's a great choice, actually. A Dargo heavy one.
I was going to say the cartoon one.
Ooh, great one.
Great one.
The one where him and Dargo like lose track of a night and have to try to figure out what's going on.
That's the one I was trying to think of, but I couldn't remember the plotting of it. The other one that I would throw on was the one where John goes into the computer program, the Don Quixote one. John Quixote.
Oh, yeah. That would have been my number 2.
Look, they're good, fun episodes.
Not complaining.
They're dark.
Just thought they were dark and just kind of a little bit heavy.
Yeah, definitely the bit where like Aaron's probably lesbian lover from early on in life is like burning to death in front of her thanks to their actions, and was like, yeah, it sure got kind of heavy, didn't it? Like,
just a little bit.
And then the internet died out like literally right after that scene. Like, but like that's where Granny shows up, and Granny's insane and
okay,
fun.
that's
like,
fair.
Yeah, fair. I love Granny.
But anyways, and then we had 2 wrestling things. We went and watched Montana Championship Wrestling, and then the most recent pay-per-view happened, Backlash, which is maybe becoming my favorite pay-per-view on not like this specific one, but just Backlash in general.
Right, yeah.
But first, Montana Championship Wrestling. I actually keep meaning to try to get a hold of them and see if we could just like convince one of them to
Show
up and interview
like,
with
what's
us or
up?
whatever. It is. The ring announcer was definitely one of the people from Montana Drag Wrestling.
Okay.
Like, I was like, where do I know this person? Oh.
Love it.
And all of Montana Drag Wrestling was like there watching.
Brilliant.
All right. Fucking dig
Love
all of this.
Love that community. Love that kind of crossover. Love that. Just love that.
There was and it's at a like for people who live in Missoula, you know, like where the airport is, and then like if you had turned right instead of turning left into the airport, there's that little like almost pocket dimension of a small part of town, and it's like a Marriott and IHOP and like
A Harley Davidson.
and a
Yeah.
couple of, and you forget that place exists until suddenly,
You have to go through there for some reason.
and you're like, what the fuck? Where does this place even come from?
It's because there's a music venue out there.
There's a music venue out there, and there's a couple of breweries.
Yes.
And it was at one of the breweries in like the backyard. So I was just sitting on a hill watching wrestling from like 30 feet away,
That sounds pretty dope,
which
Joe.
it was great. And it was $20. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and it would have been cheaper if I had like pre-bought. And versus like, oh, do I want the VIP tickets? They're only $35. Might as well. No, my seat was better. I was just sitting on the hill.
What was VIP, like ringside?
A little far, but the platforms were a little elevated. But so was the hill.
Nice.
So like whatever. But it was fascinating because like I've been to a live wrestling show, but it was not fucking 4 feet away, and it was TV level wrestling, not these guys. And I don't mean any disrespect to these guys, but like
You're setting a tone of understanding the differences.
this is the indiest of indie wrestling.
Right, yeah.
This is the very first Montana Championship Wrestling show. Like, it's literally in a brewery. I was talking to the guy that won the belt. Like, this is not fucking Roman Reigns happening. But one,
Although you do talk to Roman pretty often.
I yell at him.
You call him, hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Joanna White, what you up to? It was interesting. I don't know how much is just the like being as close as I was and how much is, I guess, the quality of wrestlers. Because there were a couple ones where I was like, oh, those punches are fake. And then there was stuff that I was like, that looks like that fucking hurt. So it was very interesting to see the balance on that one. And like, I heard someone go, you ready? Right before like flipping somebody. Like, because he had picked him up onto his shoulders and went, you ready? Just to make sure the guy wasn't in a spot where he wasn't going to get hurt. And then like threw himself backwards and landed on the guy. So it, makes sense to ask that question.
I love that. That sounds fun.
It was very much a like, we talk about wrestling being like theater for jocks kind of. This one was very much more, you could see the theater aspects being that close, and it was fascinating. And like a kid was recording on the camera, and one of the guys is like, you have to get out of the way. I'm about to tackle that man. Like, and the guy he's going to tackle is like having to spend way too long being like concussed.
That's pretty great.
And like, it was fun. I remember I was watching the first round and I was like, I think I could do this. Not that I think I'd be amazing but like, this looks fun. I think I could. And then the second round, some guy picked up another guy and held him like upside down. So, feet in the air. And he has got enough core strength that he is just straight up, straight as an arrow. And I was like, I couldn't do that. Could not do this. Or like walking the ropes. And my buddy's like, no, man, it's not that impressive. He's holding the other dude's hand. I'm like, you're still walking a rope, man. Like,
yep.
I did feel bad. This poor woman who was the fight before, she had been doing a great job as like the heel manager of like the shitty heel boyfriend character. And then she got in a wrestling match. But then her lip ring got stuck in someone's fishnet. And they had to like stop the match or like basically stop the match. There's like 2 other people kind of trying to wrestle a little bit around them to be distracting.
Right.
And like literally cut the fishnet because it got so wrapped around, and she got taken out, and like the rest of the night did not get the flow back because the entire audience was like peeking around the door back in being like, is she okay?
Damn.
But like, it was fun. We're definitely going again. Next one is in August. I
might be able to go to that in August.
Yeah, and it's like $20. Like it is not a bad way to spend an evening. We went to Top Hat for dinner beforehand. Like, it was a nice day.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
And then we watched Backlash, which I felt bad for Backlash this year because the last Backlash 2023, Puerto Rico. Backlash 2024, France, and like one of the nice coastal cities. Like, absolutely gorgeous foreign audiences, which are always go absolutely fucking hog wild. This year, St. Louis. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with St. Louis, but after Puerto Rico, that vacation hits a little different.
Agreed.
But Backlash is fun because it's definitely a B show, but I kind of like the B shows a little more because you get some not as many people are watching as WrestleMania, so you can get away with a little more shit. And it just kind of sets up a lot of the stuff going on. And they put on some banger matches for like every single one of them. If the quality of the final match of WrestleMania had been the quality of the final match of Backlash this year, we would have been talking about WrestleMania 41 as a great show instead of everyone remembering an awful final match that kind of like colored the whole weekend. Randy Orton, John Cena put on a great fucking show together. It was interesting because heel Cena is already having trouble being a heel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he'll do heel shit, and then you see him, like, look like he feels bad about himself, which is actually way more interesting to me in a lot of ways. Like, we just watched the Peacemaker Season 2 trailer today, even though we know that episode came out a while ago. But I forget how good of an actor John Cena actually is. And then after, like, he looks like he might be starting to not be a shithead for a little while and, like, get back into it. And then R-Truth shows up and says something that offends him, so he puts R-Truth through a table, and everyone's back to hating John Cena. And also, I'm going to get my fucking John Cena versus R-Truth match, which I want so badly.
Dude, I'm remembering you saying you would love to see him be the one to take out.
R-Truth should beat John Cena for the Universal Championship. He doesn't have to keep it long. I want him to keep it long enough to, like, beat The Miz once or twice, because those two have a long team-up / opponent. I think they really like each other in real life, and it shows on screen. And then you can have whatever fucking heel you want beat the shit out of R-Truth for it. Get major fucking heel heat. And R-Truth gets to have been a Universal Champion. Like, that'd be so fun. Also, having a man that doesn't know where he is half the time be the Universal Champion would just be like a fun month of TV.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I guess
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, it's so fun. Also, Penta versus Dominic Mysterio was really good. We got...
Mostly really good. I saw one clip from that match that was Penta wickedly no-selling the 619.
That's true. But even then, like, it's... You don't do that to Rey Mysterio, but you can kind of get away with doing it to Dom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria put on a really good match, but the opening match was LA Knight versus Damian Priest versus Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. So it's like the four most lunatic brawlers in WWE. The only thing I didn't like is they had a match where one of the announcers, Pat McAfee, fought Gunther. And it's everything I hate about WWE in one match. And it was better than I expected it to be. But it still was not good.
I still don't get the love for Gunther.
I liked watching him slap the shit out of Pat
No, that's
McAfee
great.
because Pat McAfee keeps opening up his mouth when he shouldn't.
That's the one match where I'd be rooting for Gunther.
That was it. That was like, y'all finally did it. You made me cheer for Gunther.
The only Gunther I want is asking me to touch his tra-la-la, his ding-ding-dong. It's a song. Never mind.
The only Gunther I want is from Adventure Time.
You touch my tra-la.
Okay, I was right. God, man, I had to like...
My ding-ding-dong.
Yep. I had to dig through some like old memories for that one.
Yeah, and still going completely over my head.
Don't worry about it. It's bad. Yeah, let's take a quick break and then we'll talk about as close to different from wrestling other than the like deep levels of soap opera shitheads as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched this movie less than 24 hours ago. And looking back, I kind of wish, and it is just for various reasons, it was not possible before then. but I kind of wish I had given myself enough time to watch it like 4 times before, just because I am curious. But luckily, this movie does a pretty good job at like showing you anything you need to remember, like calling back in a way that doesn't make me feel like I was missing too much.
They set up that flashbacks are a part of the storytelling device very early so that they can reincorporate it later when things are being explained.
Yeah, whenever they need it, in a way that doesn't feel like breaking flow.
And it always felt very, very fluid. I fucking love this movie. I'm so excited that we're covering this movie.
I've wanted to see this movie ever since they were like, Daniel Craig is doing a Sherlock Holmes style character. And that's before I knew he was a gay Southerner.
Well, he's doing more of an Agatha Christie whodunit kind of.
Sure, but
character.
Sherlock Holmes also has very... Yes.
The game is afoot.
Hercule Poirot and Sherlock Holmes are very different characters that have very similar things. I do prefer Poirot.
Yeah,
but
I was going more Marple.
I actually have very little experience with Miss Marple, wildly.
Same, but I'm just making a reference.
This kind of media is a lost art in a lot of ways, like a classic whodunit murder mystery, particularly, and they didn't quite get to it, I kind of wish they had, of sitting the entire family down so Hercule Poirot can pop up, tell all of them to each other's faces why they're all terrible fucking people, but that's the one that killed somebody.
It was like right on the edge of doing that.
He just skipped doing it. Like I was impressed but mad at the same time.
I feel like they do a better job in the sequel.
I was about to say the same thing.
But fuck me, I love this movie. The cast is a fucking banger. It's bringing back a dying form in that, like, they do such a good job of reforming whodunit.
There was something like weirdly sentimental about the way that I watched it, because thanks to scheduling stuff, Cece had to be doing some work in the kitchen. And so instead of like on our big fancy projector screen and all the like nice ways of watching it, I was just watching it on a really old laptop that was set up in the kitchen, like sitting in a chair next to her as we like talked and watched it. And there was something really like nice about that experience, as much as I love, you know, high def projector and good screens and nice, actually solid audio and whatever. But like, I don't know, it felt kind of appropriate for watching this kind of, it's kind of like how her sister in like one of the first scenes, the nurse's sister is like just hanging
Literally
out watching on a
the
laptop.
kitchen.
Like, yeah.
Yes. That would be kind of surreal to be watching a murder mystery while someone's watching a murder mystery, and the murder mystery you're watching.
And the murder mystery on the laptop, the voice you hear is Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, really?
Wild.
That's fun.
JGL and Rian Johnson work together all the time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I assume.
He is the lead actor in Rian Johnson's first film, Brick, which I highly recommend. I love
and
Rian
you said
Johnson.
he did Looper as
Yes.
well,
Looper.
which is also
Is also JGL and also Bruce Willis in that. But he also did The Brothers Bloom, which is another, not a murder mystery, but a very much like a con man, twisty, turny, how done it, kind of so.
I'm trying to remember which voice he is in The Last Jedi. You hear him in The Last Jedi.
Really? That's
Yeah.
fun.
But I can't remember which like background voice he is.
that was one of the things we knew beyond just me liking murder mysteries. I was really confident I was going to like these because Tyler and I remain big fans of The Last Jedi when it comes to Star Wars movies. So I had the confidence in the, is it Rian Johnson?
I think it's Rian Johnson.
It's just spelled weird.
I think it's spelled like rain, but it's Ryan, as far as I know.
As far as I know, it's Ryan.
How do we want to talk about, because we've never done a murder mystery on this show. I love whodunits to the point that I wanted to argue to do Hercule Poirot stories as episodes before, but I could just never, like, that seemed almost too niche even for GN.
So you
I don't know. We could do that. Let's circle back to that one at some point.
But also,
add it to the list.
I
David
think
Suchet is
I think
fucking
we've
amazing.
established over time that you're the biggest fan of murder mysteries in this room. So I guess I'm curious, when you go into them, are you trying to figure them out alongside it?
So, and it's also interesting because I might be the biggest fan, but I'm also not like a diehard on this one. I know people who are obsessive with them. I way prefer this kind of whodunit over a lot of the more modern ways of doing like murder mysteries. But I grew up watching Hercule Poirot, the David Suchet version, and I think I've read every Sherlock Holmes story by the original author, by
Doyle.
Thank you. Fucking, I hate my inability to remember names while recording a podcast about people.
Well, it's actually about liking things. You don't have to remember people.
Yeah,
We
it
never
comes-
said you had to.
Most people aren't likable.
Okay, thank you.
Very
I feel
good
like
point.
Doyle was probably a lot to deal with, in fairness.
Yeah.
Agatha Christie definitely was, but like in a fun way. I did a lot in this one. I don't usually as much. I kind of enjoy watching them unfold and just going with and like that curiosity, but I'm not the person being like, well, obviously, like this.
Okay, just because I know we have some listeners that do this, I highly recommend actually going and watching this movie if you haven't seen this movie, because we're going to get into spoils. There's
100% spoilers.
There's
in this.
no way we can talk about this movie without getting into spoils, and I don't want to ruin this movie because it's delightful to know how it turns out without having it spoiled for you. So, listeners, pause this, come back to it later. We love you. If you haven't watched it already. If you have...
Can I do
we're
a
in.
quick summary of what this movie is real fast as we go? Just if you...
sure.
Okay. So, famous author has a family full of terrible fucking children and grandchildren, except for like the one granddaughter who seems okay, but we can get to her later. His one friend in the world is his nurse. Movie opens, he's dead, apparent suicide. The whole family are clearly lying about stuff because they're all fucking awful, as I mentioned. And Benoit Blanc, a famous detective, was hired to come into this, but he doesn't know who hired him. He just like
He receives a big
an
ass
envelope,
wad of cash.
an envelope full of money, and like go look at this.
And a newspaper article about his death.
And him knowing that his dad knew the guy.
Yeah.
Mhm. And we go from there. Like literally it's such a good setup for a murder mystery too. Like not knowing who hired him.
At what point did you know that you loved this?
I think when Benoit Blanc started talking.
Yeah, that's a real deciding point for you to whether you're in or just in.
And I already knew I was going to like the character because I have enough relationship with Tumblr who has a definite hard-on for Benoit Blanc.
Man, they love fucking detectives. Man, Tumblr really loves detectives. And fucking them. And them fucking.
And
Just
then
the-
detecting it.
Just the love for Columbo, the love for Poirot. Poirot. I can never pronounce
It's Belgian.
that. I suck at it. Yeah.
What it is a smart character who sometimes acts dumb or silly, because silly is probably a better term than dumb. And it's, I can't remember, I mean, probably Columbo is the last time I remember a character like this who was really treated in that way. Like, because I guess, I mean, we got the most recent Sherlock series, but in it, he's just a dickhead.
Yeah.
The Benedict Cumberbatch. And I enjoyed more of it than I didn't. But he's just an unlikable asshole. Benoit is annoying. He's clearly frustrating, but he's mostly frustrating to like the cops than he is any of the...
And he's a little bit rude, I think, but not like oh, asshole. He's just not patient with like, he has no time for people's bullshit. Kind
Yeah.
of rude. More so than like, I'm
He's
going
the
to be
southern
an
polite rude.
There it is.
Also, as this was Daniel Craig's big role, a couple people, this was their big role after like big action ones, and you can see how much they're loving it. Daniel Craig doing this instead of James Bond, which he historically has not really enjoyed playing that much, even if he acknowledges the movies are decent.
Most Bonds don't like being Bond.
Yeah, it's tough. People are obsessed with it. And then this being the first movie that Chris Evans does after Captain America, and like he doesn't
go
have
back to being a dick.
He can go back to being a dick. He doesn't have to be ripped, and he can just wear an oversized, really comfortable looking sweater.
Just, oh, dude. Oh my God. The fucking wardrobe on this movie. It is so refreshing to just see just rich, fucking beautiful fabrics that are actually tailored to be worn by people. And it's just like, oh yeah, you guys had some money, didn't you? You guys threw some money at your wardrobe, didn't you? This makes sense. You guys did the job of making these rich people look rich.
Well,
right.
They don't need a huge... I mean, I guess they need, like, a lot of set deck for the, like, mansion itself.
Which
That's
I
what
imagine...
I was going to say was the set decoration is...
But outside
incredible.
of that, they don't need a ton of fucking money for like big action scenes. There's no weird CGI taking up all of your fucking money. Like,
no, their action scene is kind of a sad, slow police chase.
This movie's great.
So like they were the things they needed to spend money on, they actually could. I am curious, how quickly did you at any point, because I don't know, do you try to figure out who does the murders before? Or?
I do something, I don't try to figure out who does the murders, at least not directly. I try to figure out what's the red herring.
There was the point.
I'm in the same kind of vein in that like I'm
like, I know something in this is a trick. What's the trick?
Yeah, I'm in the same vein of what are the clues is my biggest thing of like, what are the clues and which one of these is the one that's here to misdirect me? So in the same vein, trying to find it. But that's just because I'm so fucking keyed into like Chekhov's guns essentially and payoffs of stuff.
Cece and I were 90% sure. And we were absolutely wrong, which I'll go about.
I wish I could. There was someone who I thought it was the first time through, and I'm completely blanking on it.
I was not 100% trusting the nurse until literally like Chris Evans tried to kill her.
I think I thought Don Johnson for some reason.
Which one was Don Johnson again?
Oh,
the husband.
Yes,
the shitty husband.
The shitty husband who's having an affair, and that's because they do. He's really the only one that they actually set up to be. Like have a story of what he's up to other than like, or like you see him doing shit about what he's up to other than the murderer. Cause like everyone else is just assholes. She's stealing Joni's stealing some money, but she's not actually doing anything there. She's just on her grind of trying to get some fucking money. She's showing up to get more money. That's her whole biz. Nobody's surprised by that.
She was married to like a brother that died or something like that.
And
I'm trying to remember. So
her daughter is a granddaughter to
So there is the main guy who is the author. He's the victim.
Let's also mention who it is while we're going through.
Thank you. Yes, you should run through. Okay.
So that is okay. We're going to start with Christopher Plummer as Harlan Thrombey,
who was incredible. I loved his scenes. I mean, it's Christopher Plummer, so surprise, surprise, but...
Right,
He is the eccentric, very rich grandfather who gets murdered.
And, like, the only fun person in his family, potentially?
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah,
here's
100% the only fun person in his family.
We were minorly convinced that, one, he's the one that hired Benoit Blanc, and that, two, I was sure he had set up his own murder.
Like, I wouldn't have doubted that. I wouldn't have said that there was no chance. That was like I said, I'm pretty sure I thought it was Don Johnson, but like that wouldn't have been beyond the realm of possibility for me.
I like these two plays you've come up with. I don't remember what my original take was, so it's hard to remember because it's been so long since I've watched it. Not that watch of it, but
my theory was that like he knew he was dying. And we knew he was a fucking weirdo eccentric who wrote crime novels, murder mysteries. I thought he decided to, like, set up his own murder mystery.
Well, and he was even taking notes up until the end.
Literally, yes. So, like,
Taking notes up to the end. Also, literally just changed his will to just, like, do some bullshit. Not bullshit, but, like, change a bunch of stuff with his kids. So, like, the idea of him changing his will to then set up his own death so that he can really set things in motion is a great concept.
I thought, like, oh, it really was a suicide. It's just a really weirdly elaborate suicide designed to not look like a suicide, to, like, explode his terrible family. And the one thing I couldn't figure out is he genuinely seemed to like the nurse, and either the nurse had to be a very different character than we thought she was, or he was secretly the world's biggest monster. Because if he had just done that to her, like, that would have been...
Yeah. Look, we already warned that we're going to get into spoilers, and so this is the first big one. He is a little bit of a fucking monster for slitting his throat in front of her.
Yeah, no, he's...
Yeah, he could have said, I'm going to do this now.
Or literally, like, there's so many ways that he could have... There's so many things he could have done other than what he did. So he was an eccentric bastard, and literally, like, his is the worst possible. The worst possible solution is because, like, she thinks that she's mixed it up and given him a fatal amount of morphine, and he's like, we'll make it look like I killed myself. Okay, here's what you're gonna have to do, making you complicit in a potential, like, cover-up of a crime, and then I'm gonna slit my throat in front of you. And you're like, whoa! Whoa! Like, this escalated fast, but it kind of tracks with what a...
We'll get into it more, but with everything that's said,
what a difficult person he must have been to know.
Oh God, yeah. But they also set that up too, even, like, as he's, like, a little bit happy with his life as he's going upstairs, and just, like, he is the type of person who's going to get his way no matter what. Mm-hmm. He's forcing her to come play his nightly ritual of this game, even though she's already dealing with the bullshit of all the family there, and she just wants to get the fuck out of that house to begin with.
Do we want to talk about Nurse next?
Ana de Armas,
because she's going to come up
Cabrera.
So her as a character, I don't have super strong opinions about, other than, like, I feel for her because she's bouncing around, never quite sure what to do. But how could, like, in reality, there's no way you could. You know, ranging between, like, oh, this family has been good to me, even though they clearly have not. And holy shit, examples of microaggressions.
Yeah, it's... but also the thing that we've forgotten to contextualize, if for some reason listeners have refused to listen to our warnings about the spoilers, but, like, she's doing a lot of this to support her mother, who is not documented, and, like, also not fuck over her mother, who is not documented. So that's her, like, huge driving force of, I can't fuck up, or else if it'll bring any scrutiny on me is any scrutiny on my mom, who will be deported, and my sister, and maybe me.
But also, like, interesting relationship with the family, because at least some of them she does seem to legitimately like. She likes the granddaughter.
Yeah.
She likes... She legitimately liked Christopher Plummer. She liked...
Mm-hmm.
You know... And she at least was business friendly with the others. But, like, the fucking microaggressions of... every single person being like, I thought you should have been at the funeral, but you were out, but I was outvoted, which is such a, like, little shit snipe that none of them have realized every person has done. Mm-hmm. And then the fact that every time they say where she's from, they say a different country.
Yeah. And it's fucking terrible. Where is she from? Is she from Ecuador?
I don't...
The actual actress?
Or no, the character.
The character was... Guatemalan?
I don't remember if they even actually say. I don't think it matters. Just the fact that, like, they came up with, like, 6 different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem, is they say fucking 5 different... And I don't remember which one she said.
Yeah, that's the problem. I can't remember either. not important, but
like I really feel for because she's just a fucking nurse who kind of likes the person that she's working for.
And like Benoit Blanc even makes the comment about like it does it make you a better nurse to be so kind-hearted or something along those lines. And he just realizes that she's just literally going out of her way to be a friend to a man who just needed a nurse, but she realized that he needed a friend real fucking bad.
Also, her interactions with him were legitimately great, and even the like, hey, you want to take some drugs is such a good like joke on that front. You want the good stuff? And like, maybe don't call it the good stuff right now. Was one of my favorite lines in the, like, him refusing to stop finding this like interesting, funny, and she's like, I just murdered a man. Like,
yeah.
Who do we want to say next?
Why am I blanking on her name? But let's start with the
woman from Halloween.
Yes,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis,
as Linda Drysdale, the eldest daughter.
The only family member other than like
the only one that seemed to actually have a good relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
Only one who seemed like she had a good relationship with her dad, and I think that's literally just the fucking sake of time. She had more time with this man to figure out how to play a game with him in a way that you could communicate with him.
And she's the only one other than like, I think you see her brother's wife for like 4 seconds, but isn't even really a part of the story. She's just
maybe the least shittiest of the kids.
She's in some, I don't know, she turns on.
Oh, no, she turns. I'm not saying she's not shitty. I'm saying maybe the least shittiest of the kids.
Yeah, I don't know. She's the only one that I never went, she could have murdered. She could have been the murderer.
I did not actually ever legitimately think she was the murderer.
And she also is the one that never had a cause. Like, we find out her husband had a cause. I think one of my favorite small moments of the movie, and I had kind of guessed it but forgotten it, is her husband had been having an affair and her dad had been threatening to reveal it, and then like her husband finds the letter her dad had written her and it's blank, and he's like, ha ha ha, and it's kind of shithead. And I'm like, that's gonna come back. Like, there's either a letter somewhere else or something that we're not seeing. But then she finds the letter, and it's literally as like her son is being taken off by the police, and she's lighting a cigarette, and she puts the lighter under the paper, and I'm like, forgot about that. Oh my God, that's so good. And like,
well, especially because if you're paying a lot of attention, her dad has lemons on his desk.
That's such a. I noticed them, but I didn't remember that. Man, I also want to rewatch National Treasure both National Treasure movies. But you use lemon juice to make it invisible ink like that, yeah. That's such a good little tidbit.
That is, I did not catch that at all. She's a great example of awful rich person who doesn't seem to be awful immediately off, because it's just like, oh yeah, I did love my dad. But also, like, I will burn these people down to get my inheritance, and I don't take, like, care of my kids. And
she does seem to be the most capable of all the kids. Like, I'm not worried. I mean, the rest of them are shitheads. I'm not worried about them anyway. But, like, once this movie ends, she can take care of herself.
Yes. Also, if she wanted to kill someone, I feel like she's the one most likely to pull it off.
Yeah, it definitely feels like she's set up as basically like the only of the children to be substantially self-sufficient enough that she could just be fine by herself, and that's subsequently the only reason she didn't need to kill her father.
Well, and she does have her own business.
And like basically that's they bring up that like Ransom brings up it later that she like was given $1 million and now she's made her business off of that. Mm-hmm. So like
everyone else is continually requiring help.
Yeah.
She just needed that first get-go. Not that like it's still
100% we get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don Johnson, her husband?
Yeah, let's go with Don Johnson.
Don Johnson has been playing a lot of racists in recent years.
Yes.
Who else is he?
Well, because he's also
In that
in Django Unchained.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
And in
Okay.
okay, so we've talked about eventually watching this, so minor spoiler, but the Watchmen series.
Yeah, okay.
He's also in that newer movie that I just watched, where he is like a police sheriff who, like, Rebel Ridge.
Oh, yeah, we watched the trailer for that.
He's not a full-blown racist, but he's close enough that he's... If he's not racist, he's cop racist. There it is. He's cop racist in that. So
He's
yeah.
got some ingrained racism.
Cop racist.
Yeah. Yeah,
But also, he's really good.
But, like, he's doing a good job at playing that, which is weird. And I, like... Sometimes you find a role that you're good at, but you're not that, I guess. I hope.
This is going to sound bad after we're just talking about how he keeps playing racists. His character in this is the one that I feel like I would get along the best with while knowing he's a piece of shit, like if I had to interact with his family.
I think I agree with you, actually. Like,
Because
when he's not being shitty and uncomfortable with his family, he's kind of just a normal guy.
he kind of is playing like, yeah, normal guy, kooky uncle, but
Like,
also
you can
like
tell he married into the family.
you can tell he married into the family. You can tell he's a bad person. It
That's
takes no time at all.
That's my biggest question is, like, how did this motherfucker land her
In the first place?
in the first place? It must have been pre-money. Anchor baby. There it is. They're a shitty kid.
Well, and
Yeah.
you know, Don Johnson was handsome enough younger in life.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I forgot about that. He was notably handsome man, Don Johnson.
And her business is like a fashion business or something. I don't remember what it is, but I want to say it's...
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember for sure, but that sounds
It's
right.
not important to the plot, so it did not
It's not
stay.
what Toni Collette's business is, which was obviously supposed to be a ripoff of Goop.
Yeah.
Which, the worst, I love how bad the name it is.
Flam?
It's not phlegm, it's like flam.
Yeah.
And like she makes a bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
The nugget of flam at the middle of it.
So
I guess now we're talking about Toni Collette as Joni.
So Joni was married to a
Brother named Neil who had died 15 years prior.
yes, so was connected to like she's the in-law of Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
And
She's
sucking them dry for everything she can get.
Although on the scale of how much she's sucking them dry is like, I mean, it's a lot of money, especially for us, but for them,
It's nothing.
not much.
Took years to notice.
There is a $60 million fortune on top of all of the other stuff that is, I mean, the house is not worth more, but like
All the rights to the
publishing empire is worth way more.
And he's just got like liquid assets out the ass
Of
too.
$60 million, they said. And she has over 10 years ripped him off to a tune of $700,000. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Yo, dog, that's for sure a felony.
I'm just saying, like, on the scale of how much the people are trying to fuck him, that's kind of like the
At least some of it was going to her daughter.
Yeah, I guess if you include the daughter's tuition that was actually getting paid, it's $140,000 or $1,400,000. She is just every fucking awful Instagram influencer, especially the ones that are, I don't know if this is the right way, a little too old to be playing the character they're playing on Instagram.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to be like, oh, if I had to hang out with these people, she's the one I would get along with, because she's at least like calling a Nazi kind of stuff. And I appreciate that. But she makes my fucking skin crawl.
Yeah,
because I I mean, not to this level of money, but we have met this person before.
This is wellness culture and influencer like level privilege. Not my cup of tea, not a person I want to be around.
I fucking hate wellness culture. And like, the problem is there's a lot of things I agree with them with. It's just, they
crazy.
need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and then her daughter was played by Catherine Langford.
I felt so bad for this kid.
I think due to events in this movie, it is understandable if anyone comes out of the movie not liking this kid. But she had immense family pressure on her in that moment, and I kind of don't know if I wouldn't have folded under.
Like, she honestly seems...
I still like this woman as like an actress because I think this character got fucked. Like, she's legitimately wants to be a good person and actually does like Marta and does think she's like a good person who we should be treating well and is trying to be good, but is too fucked by the societal pressure of her family.
She's what, in like high school?
No, she's college.
College? Okay, but still like under 22. I would guess like 20, maybe. Her grandfather, who she legitimately seems to love, like one of the few that actually seems to like him, just died. She's told that she's going to not just like, she doesn't seem to care that she's not going to have money, but like, hey, you're going to lose school. You're going to lose like every part of your life you have ever known, which is fucking scary at best. And then her mother, her aunt, her uncles, both uncles, and other random, her weird Nazi shithead cousin, care less about that part.
Did we go over his...
We haven't gotten to him yet.
We maybe should, because he's the son of Don Johnson.
No, he's the son of
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we'll come to him when we get to him. I thought that was their
No,
kid.
Chris Evans is the son of Don Johnson.
Oh, which we'll get into him later because he comes in later. Okay, sorry. I
He's
got
important
lost.
enough that he's kind of going on his own. But like her entire, just imagine every person that is your like family that you deal with on a regular basis. One, just literally staring at you like they were. That fucking turnaround where she hangs up the phone and all of them, led by fucking Jamie Lee Curtis, are just like death staring her. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, yes, she did a bad thing when stuck in what had to have felt like an impossible situation. But and I guess if you're like, no, that's unforgivable, sure, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But that feels like a moment of weakness with ridiculous societal and familial pressures, as opposed to every other person who is just a bad person.
Yes.
Also, she is the one that was like, no, we should take care of Marta. Like,
we should take care of her.
Yeah.
Because she like took care of our grandpa.
And
like,
he liked her, and I like her, and I want to smoke more weed with her. And
like she's a nice human, and grandpa would want us to.
And sure, did not necessarily be like, let's give her $60 million and a bunch of other shit, but
like a good severance, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see, Michael Shannon, the youngest
Kneel
son.
before Zod.
Yeah.
Fuck me, he's so unlikable in this movie.
Michael Shannon's really good at playing unlikable people.
He's really good at
Michael
playing
Shannon's just a fantastic actor.
Sure, but like,
Yes.
I'm not making any commentary on Michael Shannon other than the fact that he knows how to play a creepy shithead, including Richard Klinsky. Like, yeah, there is nothing redeeming about this person as a human being. And he's dumb.
So he almost seemed dumb enough to not understand just how racist his wife and son are. Like, he's not any better, but it seems like he doesn't even realize that they're even worse than him.
No, it seems to be very... Was his wife actually super racist?
She was, yeah, Ricky Lindholm was spouting off some shit. In the like 5 seconds she's on screen.
Yep. No, I forgot.
I was like, oh, Ricky Lindholm. Oh, no, Ricky Lindholm. I love you so much. you're playing a character. You're playing a character. Okay, yeah, you're playing a character.
Yeah.
She's also only on screen for like 10 seconds.
I was
Yeah.
going to say the biggest tragedy of this movie is Ricky Lindholm has one scene where she's a fucking background character, basically. No, like... Okay, so he is, I want to say the oldest son.
He's the youngest son.
He's the youngest son, sorry. So he is the youngest son. He is of Christopher Plummer. He is the one that is most connected to his father. He's the one that actually works in his father's publishing empire, as they keep calling it. Was he an author in his own right? Or
No.
okay.
No.
He does nothing but publish his dad's books. His dad gives him books and he publishes them.
Yes. And he's been trying to get his dad to do like
Literally anything other than paperback books.
and his dad is basically the creator of Calvin and Hobbes, Bill Watterson, with the like, no fucking merch, no adaptations. We are
No
like,
movies, no TV, no radio plays, no audiobooks, nothing.
God, not even audiobooks.
I think that was a bit that they talked about. Like
Jesus.
Michael
Wow, you
Shannon
found
was-
a way that I think you have gone too far. That does make me be like, how the fuck do you have $60 million plus?
I could be wrong, but it does, like, Michael Shannon himself says, like, they had a talk about, like,
Oh yeah, no, there was definitely he was trying to get,
audiobooks, but like that was his his side of the argument that they had is that, like,
I almost feel like
it wasn't an argument. They were just talking about audiobooks.
I almost feel like at a certain point it almost didn't happen because Christopher Plummer made the mistake of putting Michael Shannon in charge of all of that stuff, and he didn't want to put something out under Michael Shannon's control.
And I don't think you're wrong. That 100% tracks for me for the characters.
This character feels to me like commentary on the son that loves his dad too much because he knows that he can make money off of his legacy. Frank Herbert's son, Brian Herbert, Tolkien's son. And like, I chose the two examples that I honestly think legitimately loved their father and their legacy and wants to protect it. So like, don't, but like, there is the son of a beloved author whose entire life is their parents' work. Not their work, not anything that they've done. And I always feel a little weird about those people. Because on one hand, I'm like, yes, you should protect J.R.R. Tolkien's legacy. But also like, what do you do?
Right. This is the difference. Once again, the difference between somebody like a Christopher Tolkien or a Joe Hill, Stephen King's son.
Oh,
yeah, who actually does a lot of like writing in his own.
In his own right, literally chose to go by a different name so that he could write and not be synonymous with his father.
Yeah, still a nepo baby. But like a nepo baby who does their own shit,
but also is willing to work with his father and accept his past and like his upbringing.
Sure.
So
no, it's
fuck. I love Joe Hill.
I don't want to just seem like I'm coming after, what is it, Christopher Tolkien? Like,
No, it was just a good
like,
example of like,
he's probably the most well-known one, but there's plenty of people that was like, my dad, and like, no one fucking cares anymore, man. Like, Michael Shannon is the most useless character in this.
other than his son.
Other than his son, who is just, man, I kind of forget
I
how...
do kind of love everybody though, just like immediately being like, oh no, the kid's a fucking Nazi.
Yeah, everyone fucking hates the kid. He gets like 2 spoken lines, and one of them's directly racist. Like,
Yeah. And that's Jaden Martell as Jacob.
I thought you were gonna say the line at first, and I was like, we don't gotta do that. Like, I don't even remember what it was. There's nothing. He was a Nazi.
I have to look
Also,
up
a
this
possible
character.
future serial killer. Like, I am still not sure whether they were joking when he's like, he was masturbating to pictures of dead deer.
Yeah, that was
Does-
very specific.
It sure seemed like he was masturbating in there. I mean, it's possible he was just hiding out in the bathroom on his phone, but like
He could have also been masturbating too. Did we see Dead Deer on his phone? Or did someone just say he was masturbating?
they said that. It's just, again, such a weirdly specific thing to say that is like,
Maybe he was just jerking it, but not to Dead
he's
Deer.
a little neo-Nazi, and he's kind of comes across as like, that dude could be a serial killer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, there's Kay Callan as Great Nana.
Yeah, I loved her.
Thank you for not forgetting Great Nana.
Like everyone but Benoit Blanc does in this fucking movie. How old is she? No one knows.
No one knows.
I appreciate that Benoit Blanc was the only one to give her enough respect to actually like talk to her and get what she had seen, but that they also didn't be like, oh no, she's actually not senile. She's still fucking senile. She had just seen more than they were giving her credit for.
Right.
Like, that's more interesting than it secretly turns out that she's aware of everything going on around her.
Oh my god. I just love the little bit where it's just like, no, you don't need it. She already ate all of the salmon spread.
Jamie Lee Curtis has some very good little bits like that. I really loved her in this.
Maybe Benoit, not his best scene, but I do legitimately think one of my favorite Benoit Blanc scenes is where he goes in to talk to her and is like, I just wanted to see how you're doing because I'm pretty sure no one else has bothered to ask you. And I want to know if you see any. And if you don't want to talk, that's fine, because I am legitimately enjoying your company or something like that. Like, that was...
He's delightful. I really fucking love his character and his portrayal of this. His accent is absolutely buck wild. And it only makes me love it.
KFC.
Look, man. British people doing Southern accents do such fascinating shit.
And he's
So
talked about
only
it.
gets thicker in the next movie,
Good.
too.
Good.
He's talked about how he's intentionally trying to not do a good one too, or not like he's not trying to do not a good one. He's talked about his methodology to it, but he's not trying to do anything specific.
Other than, like, I don't know, Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
There are a couple other notable people to bring up. We do have Edie Patterson playing Fran, the housekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot she was a different person for a while, but yeah.
Emmett Walsh showed up as the security guard, who I just want to bring up because I love Emmett Walsh. He's been a fucking character actor for 40 years plus now.
Oh, yes, I know who we're talking about now.
And, let's see, Noah Segan as Trooper Wagner, who is like the fanboy police officer.
Yep. I enjoyed having a fanboy of murder mysteries who's just having a great fucking time. There's
That
nothing
was
deep.
Frank Oz?
I was getting to that.
Sorry, I just...
Oh, Frank Oz was the lawyer.
Yeah.
I did not place that was Frank Oz until you just had that moment. And I went,
Sorry, I got ahead of you for a moment there.
I love Frank Oz, and it actually is perfectly on track for him because that man did not love doing the Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
He appreciated the work they were doing. He knew he was doing good stuff and that they cared about it. But, like, his goal in life was never puppetry. So as much as I wish he was still doing Muppet stuff, like, good for him for just having a career. Did you see that fucking movie he directed about a British funeral?
No, I never did.
Alan Tudyk's in it. It's like Death in Paradise or something.
Death at a Funeral.
Death at a Funeral.
I never did see
They
Death at a
remade
Funeral.
it with
They remade it as an American movie.
American movie with basically like a black cast, and it's both of them are supposed to be very good, but like wildly different.
And
movies.
I still think Alan Tudyk. But I
Peter
never
Dinklage is in one of them.
the British one, I want to say.
I remember seeing. Okay, I know the movie. I've never seen it.
It's an extremely good movie.
And then Lakeith Stanfield as the other detective, Lieutenant Elliot, and I just need more Lakeith Stanfield in like everything.
I mean, he's fucking phenomenal. I really love him in this, like, just kind of reserved police
He's
role?
playing a essential role when you're doing a private detective. He's Lestrade from Sherlock Holmes. He's Inspector Japp from Hercule Poirot. Like, you need the person who is a cop, who has enough authority that he can make his little cop minions do stuff for the detective when they need it, but also knows to just like to back in this case Blanc up.
Okay, sorry. I just got really sidetracked looking up Jaden Martell, the Nazi kid, because I was trying to figure out what I knew him from. He's in It.
Yeah.
He's also in Midnight Special with Michael Shannon.
Good for him. And then that just leaves, I guess, Daniel Craig, who we've talked a little bit about, and Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we skipped over Evans.
Who is the youngest?
He is Jamie Lee Curtis's son.
Yes, that's right.
So he is the oldest grandson or grandchild.
Yes.
Handsome motherfucker and an asshole.
And he's such a bad person.
He's a bad person. He's an asshole. Based on everything we're told, though, it does seem like he at least tried to have a relationship with Harlan.
He at least was similar enough with Harlan that they knew how to, like... Because it said they enjoyed jabbing at each other or something like that. So, like...
I feel like he's basically... if Harlan would have become a shithead in his younger days.
I really think what it is that he was the only person smart enough to keep up with his grandfather.
I could also see that.
And so, I mean, I agree with your assessment. Like, he's easily who Harlan could have become if he was born with a bunch of money and no desire to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But he is the only, like, his mom, Jamie Lee Curtis, is not dumb, but there's not a whole, like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's the same level of, like, really plotting. And also, he had said he had been his grandfather's assistant for a summer, but, like, that dude clearly understood crime. Like, how to, like, thinking through a murder mystery whodunit in a way that no one else did other than Harlan. To the point that I was wondering if, like, he was... Because, as I said, my theory was that Harlan had killed himself in a ridiculously complicated suicide plot, mostly designed to, like, fuck with his family and make that nurse feel bad. Which I didn't feel bad about. For a while, I thought that Chris Evans' character was in on it.
Oh, like a Dread Pirate Roberts type situation of, like, I'm going to hire you to kill me so
or
that
like
it looks like a suicide.
Knew that he had done it, so like knew his grandfather had done it, so it was like helping his grandfather's like grand final game kind of thing.
Oh yeah. He was the accomplice.
Yeah, exactly. And it turns out no, he's a needlessly
roundabout murderer.
God, such a shitty murderer too. Like that is the thing. His plan. There's a show called The Middleman, which I've also had on our list of things we should watch.
Yes. Sorry, I just remembered The Middleman. I got
Middleman
really
is
excited.
fucking great. But every Monster of the Week villain goes, my plan is beautiful or elegant in its simplicity. And then it's always the like most ridiculously complicated plan to take over the world. Mm-hmm. I really thought about that with his murder plot here. And again, if you are still listening to this and have not watched the movie, this is your last and final warning because I'm about to try to explain the murder plot. And it's the dumbest fucking thing on the planet. He knows he's getting cut out of the will.
And that it's going to Marta.
And that it's going to Marta. He's the only one who knows that.
Okay, so I knew this, and this kind of you just saying this out loud really put the whole thing into context now a little bit more. And I imagine he probably would know about the Slayer rule as well. Okay, yeah.
Because he does actually know crime bullshit. Mm-hmm. Because he did a single summer with his grandfather like 15 years ago.
Though it does seem like he very much has his grandfather's mind where he's
sure
able to...
they've got the mind for it, and they've been fucking with each other for years. And based off of what we see of Harlan, and his theatrics that like he absolutely does wild shit too. So his plan to stay in the inheritance is to switch around the two drugs that the nurse puts in his grandfather, that Marta puts in his grandfather every night, by like tweaking the labels.
By using a syringe to pull the liquid out of one bottle, put it in together, and vice versa.
Okay. And
Which
then
I don't know how that works. That feels like that's not how that works.
I
like,
don't
once you
know
break the
enough.
seal on the vials, I feel like that's a weird thing, and I should ask one of my doctor friends.
The movie sets up its reality amazingly, and how this all works, it's not how it works, and we can get into that in a minute. But like, there's a bunch of holes in his plan that are actually kind of funny and actually make it that he brought it all on himself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then he steals the, I guess,
Naloxone.
Naloxone. I wanted to say Narcan, but I knew that wasn't right. And he's like, haha, she'll murder him. That's such, I mean, even if we just end there, before we go into like his ways to recover, that is the most buck wild murder plot to come up with on the fly, because that conversation happened like 20 minutes before.
But also, like, if she was going to murder him like that, would like, I'm sorry, but like, would that be murder, or would that be like medical malpractice?
I mean, best case scenario,
Like,
she would have gotten a lot of
manslaughter.
trouble. Like,
Accidental manslaughter. of some
probably
sort.
lose her license.
Yeah. Oh, and they
It would have fallen under like tragic accident and you're fired because you should know better. Real quick, what is Chris Evans' character's name?
ransom.
Hugh Ransom Drysdale. Ransom's his middle name. Only the help calls him Hugh.
Okay, that's
Because
why
he's an asshole.
I was forgetting why he made the help call him Hugh. That was a part that was like, what? But okay. Because everyone calls him Ransom except for the help, because he's like, yeah, he is the member of the family that like is. There's the the three grandkids, but the Nazi's a Nazi and no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
The granddaughter seemed like isn't perfect, but does seem to legitimately try to like interact with the help.
Mm-hmm. Is like friends with Fran and Marta.
At least like friendly.
He's willing to smoke a joint with them,
Yeah.
which says a lot in my book, in all honesty.
That's fair.
But also, they're all white privileged people, so like,
And that's kind of the point. But like, he is the kind of person that's exactly like, no, call me Hugh. You have to call me, but would do it in a way that he's like pretending to be just a guy, but also is so like clearly lording his privilege. He is.
It's like, it's at first, it's kind of like, I'm giving you the privilege of calling me by my first name. By the way, nobody that actually knows me and is part of my circle calls me by my first name, so you're not part of that.
So I'm like making it seem like I'm down to earth, but I am also specifically outing you as less than me in the process. Ugh. God, that's gross. But like the moment that she gets in his car, I was like, that's a bad idea. Like that's. Did he fuck with her car too? Like
No. No, her car just sucks.
and he just saw that
Saw
as
an
a
opportunity.
time
like literally, I don't think he's doing anything with any real fucking grandiose plans. I think it's all just circumstantially like.
he reacts so well on the fly that
I think that's it.
Well, that's it. So, like I said, he's the most like his grandpa. When asked about it earlier in the movie, Michael Shannon points out that like, oh yeah, no, Harlan didn't have to plan these things. All the plots just popped into his head fully formed. And so even when Harlan's coming up with his plan and telling Marta, like he comes up with it, as we've all commented on, like right off the bat, but he mentions like, I'm sure I missed something. You got to figure that out. And it's kind of the same for Chris Evans. This all happens, and within him getting to the end of the driveway, he's figured out his plan, but he missed that little something.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, we forgot to say about Marta. She cannot lie without vomiting.
how do we miss that?
Oh yeah, that's such a wild plot point that is so fun and a great little plot point.
It is a really good thing to put in a done it. Like, here is a character who cannot lie, but it's fucking fairy rules for cannot lie. Like, it is, I didn't lie, but I didn't necessarily tell you the truth either. I said things in a way where nothing I said was untrue.
Even that she has to be coached into doing. She doesn't naturally come by that.
Sure, but she starts to do it more and more.
She starts to do
as
it
the
more
show
and more.
goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
With no fucking choice. I do not blame her.
Yeah. Very much a learning on the fly or else you're going to die kind of situation.
Although I have to be like the entire time where he's like, this is my plan. Or Harlan's like, this is my plan. I'm like, your plan is fucking awful, Harlan. Like, you have so many rich lawyers. You know you're leaving her to the money. Like, there are so many things you could do that they could protect the mother.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, you're going to fucking traumatize this poor girl.
Oof.
They also bring up that, like, he just loves the drama.
Dude, his house is incredible.
I love that secret window.
Yeah, the secret window's dope.
Got to get out there. I love the knife chair, too.
Yeah, the knife chair is also
Knife
dope.
chair's pretty baller.
It's like on the front cover, so like I get it, but
Taking bong hits in that chair.
that sounds stressful. Although they are fake knives, so you know,
Some of them.
at least, yeah.
So,
You wanted to talk a little bit about the flaws.
well, it's just kind of funny because there's a couple things. It's just like a couple of the shittiest people in this movie, it leads to their own downfall. The police would have ruled the death a suicide if Chris Evans wouldn't have hired Benoit Blanc to step in and do all the shit that
Literally,
he did.
yes. His
Now,
why did he hire? Like, what was his goal with just to catch?
because he wanted to invoke the Slayer law, but like, just because he did that wouldn't have meant that it would have reverted to the previous will.
He wasn't expecting the suicide angle, so he needed to divert it.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
He was
thank you,
expecting
thank
the
you,
next
thank you,
day
thank
to
you,
be
thank you.
like, to open up the paper and be like,
Found
nurse
dead
kills. Yeah.
Yeah,
in his sleep. More questions.
And so then he had to improvise. But like, if he wouldn't have got Benoit Blanc in on it, then they could have just challenged the new will in court, because Harlan very specifically did not make it in front of an attorney. He just sealed it his fucking self.
that's the one that's because like they talked about all of them. They could only sort of challenge it. I mean, you just came up with how they could, because they're like, we could challenge this in court, and going, but you would have to prove he was not of sound mind, and he clearly, like, all of you confirmed that he was of sound mind before this.
The only
Now-
argument you can make is that he slit his throat, which is kind of unsound behavior.
Like the day he changed his will too. Like,
Yeah.
And even then, it would have just been treated. The mistake is it wouldn't have reverted to the previous will. It would be treated because they set up that this happened in Massachusetts, and so people on the internet have actually looked into
up
the
what
laws.
it would be.
It would just be reverted to being treated as him not having a will, so it'd be split evenly amongst his children.
Which is already what the goal was, essentially.
So basically, the grandkids wouldn't get anything, but like the two kids would get.
They may, depending on Massachusetts law, the kids may technically be entitled to certain amounts and percentages, or the grandkids, I mean, just kind of the way it breaks down.
But like I said, if he wouldn't have brought Benoit Blanc into it, he would have had a chance to do that. But he did because he was too full of himself and liked the drama too much, and he needed to do it his way. The other thing where...
Well, he
it's
didn't bring
also-
in Benoit Blanc until his original plan had already failed.
Right. But had he not, it still would have played out that way.
Yeah, fair.
Don Johnson gets pissed off about everything and throws the baseball out the window. Joni wouldn't have brought the baseball back to the office to find the letter
If he hadn't thrown it in the first place, because the baseball gets thrown, Benoit Blanc picks it up and plays with it for a while. The dog plays with it for a while. And then does it go from the dog to Jody?
Yeah. Who
Okay.
recognizes it and brings it back to her father's office, and that's when she notices the letter.
Chris Evans is entirely... Yeah. Yeah, those are the only ones that really have, like, awful things happen to them. Because, as I said, Zod is just an idiot. Like, yes, we could use our family fortune to protect your mother and stuff. She's like,
That
well,
was
it's
so fucking
mine.
funny.
Like,
I love that scene because, like, he is successful in physically intimidating her, but completely gives away, like,
the entire game.
yeah, and, like, his only leverage.
And her immediately just like, oh yeah, you mean all this stuff that's mine now? Got it. Sweet.
Well,
Thanks
and
for that helpful information. Actually, now I'm not at all intimidated anymore.
And it utterly breaks the part of her that's like, no, this family's been good to me. Like,
Yeah.
she's aware. She says it again afterwards, but mostly because she loved Harlan. Liked Harlan. I don't want to say loved because even though I'm sure she did, but like, you say that sentence and it makes it sound weird. She was Harlan's friend.
Pointing my father?
Oh, God, exactly.
Oh,
No,
God,
she was giving him
freaks
the
out
good
so
stuff.
Yeah, right. That's funny. Also noticed this time around, they set it up at the beginning when they're talking about the difference between Marta and Ransom when they play Go with Harlan. And Marta beats Harlan more often, and she points out that all she's trying to do is create a beautiful pattern, whereas Ransom's actually just trying to beat Harlan. And she ends up winning when she stops playing the game that everyone else is playing and just tries to do what she feels is morally correct.
Wow,
Love
that's
that.
so fucking good. Yeah, you guys should watch The Brothers Bloom, and you should watch Brick, Zach.
All right. I'm down. I really, as I said, I've now seen 2 Rian Johnson movies, and I really liked both of them, so that's a good argument. I'm just thinking about, as you're going to, about Benoit Blanc as a detective, because he is it's an interesting portrayal of the character, because he plays a detective that is both, like, you can tell he's good at his job from the beginning, but when she says you're not really much of a detective to him, you still have that kind of like, yeah, a little bit. Like, and then fucking 30 seconds later, he shows off quite how good he is. But like, we meet Benoit Blanc and he's already a famous detective. His name is in the paper, which is the absolute most Sherlock Holmesiest thing that they could have done.
They do also set up that he's supposed to be like the last of his kind, and like, but he's still a thing. He's famous.
But that's my point. But then, like, he doesn't, I don't want to say he doesn't notice shit, but he does seem kind of oblivious to shit in several places. Like, he knows from the beginning that Marta has something going on. But when she's like, I need to pick something up, and then just, like, disappears into, I think it's like a hair salon she walks into.
Yeah, she cuts through a hair salon into then like an abandoned building.
He just straight up puts on his iPod and starts singing to himself, and like doesn't find any of that behavior suspicious.
So, my first time through the movie, I think I had the same problem that you're describing now. Especially because there is a moment in the middle of this movie where he describes his method. When he brings up Gravity's Rainbow, right?
Oh, which I fell down a rabbit hole of looking up the Wikipedia on this book because I was like, I need to know
no
more
one's
about
read it, but I like the words.
And that's another one this time around. Honestly, as we're speaking about it, and I'm thinking about the movie currently, that I'm finally putting together, because after I got done watching this movie the first time, which actually wasn't that long ago, we usually go into our history with the movies. My history with this movie goes back to Thanksgiving. That's the first time I saw it.
That's really where
wow.
we started talking about, like, this movie has been on our list of possible episodes since like the first year of this podcast, but that was really what set us off of like, oh no, it's time
Yeah, I went to Thanksgiving dinner with my partner at her aunt and uncle's place with her family, and they're not usually like a sit in front of the TV, especially at family gatherings crowd. Like it's usually like very much interacting with each other and stuff, and for whatever reason, like her aunt and uncle had just like saw that it was streaming earlier that day and kind of had like
Let's watch it.
they really wanted to watch it, so it kind of became what the family did with Thanksgiving dinner, and I was just like, oh, this is really fucking good. But once I got done, I was like, he describes this. I don't think I saw him do this in this movie. And so every time I've rewatched it, I've been looking for his method in action.
Okay.
It is absolutely the fact that he clocked the spot of blood when he first meets Marta. That's the beginning of the rainbow. And the rest of the movie, he's just trying to keep as close to her in as many scenes as possible.
That's true.
So that when it finally lands at the end, he's collected all of that because he knows that she's connected somehow. And that's the trajectory that he's following.
Okay. That is, yeah.
Wow,
I
that's
absolutely
really good.
agree with you, and I really liked it because it was clear he was keeping her close. I hadn't put together in the same way that you put it there, but like,
I want to keep that in mind when I watch Glass Onion.
yeah.
Well, Glass Onion's much different.
I know, but I still kind of want to think about
Yeah.
that.
From the rainbow kind of thing, yeah.
I think I'm going to look for it when we rewatch it because it's coming up.
Yeah.
But Glass Onion is kind of its own monster.
It's kind of
'cause
its own monster, so it's hard to do that.
This is very much like an old school
Mhm.
murder mystery. Glass Onion does a lot more to play with the conventions of the genre, in my
Well,
opinion.
and I just saw like while we were watching it, an article came out about him talking about the third one, which is coming out soon.
Yeah,
I believe it's supposed to be
something
this
Dead
year.
Man? What's it?
I think it's just Dead Man.
Yeah.
And he's like, it is completely different in the same way that Glass Onion was completely different from Knives Out.
Wake Up Dead Man.
Wake Up Dead Man.
But I mean, like, even so, there is, even when she was like, you're not a very good detective, I was like, I kind of agree. I know you're wrong though, at the
Yeah.
same time. Like, that's the interesting part. I am so fascinated with Benoit Blanc as a character.
I think this character immediately joins the all-time greats,
Oh,
right?
he has to.
Oh, 100% agree.
Even though there's only going to be, because he's only planning on making 3 of these and then being, as far as I know, being done, at least for a while.
Both love it and slightly sad.
But
'cause-
also, like, Benoit Blanc is the kind of character that you easily could go back to later if you wanted to. Like, you don't have to, because I get not wanting to do Benoit Blanc for the rest of your life.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the character, unless he fucking dies and Wake Up Dead Man, like, it would be very easy to come back in a couple of years and just here's another mystery.
What if they kill him and then they bring him back James Bond style? What if the dead man that comes back is the new Benoit Blanc?
Great, more
and
Time Lords.
And he has a different, worse accent.
Okay, I decided to look up what he has said about the future while we were talking about it.
Sure.
This is hilarious. Okay, I'm reading this straight off of Wikipedia. I'll even do the boring part first. In September 2022, Craig and Johnson both separately stated they will continue making additional films in the series so long as they are both involved together. In January 2023, Johnson stated that a suggestion from fans to create a Benoit Blanc mystery film with the Muppets as the supporting cast had inspired him. The writer-director said that he seriously considered this as an option, but ultimately decided it would be impossible to properly balance both IPs. That same month, the filmmaker acknowledged the realization for a possible Knives Out Christmas special.
Great, sweet.
Fuck yes. I love it. This
But
is
yeah.
what I need in my life.
It honestly could, like, it's going to be harder because you can't write as many. I mean, Agatha Christie wrote like 40 Hercule Poirot stories. There's a ton of Sherlock Holmes. With Benoit Blanc, and the way that they make these is you just can't mass produce them in the same way.
No.
So it's hard to, in some ways, it's hard to say he's a like truly all timer in the same way. But like, I can't think of anyone else. And I'm not as well read in this genre as I am in a lot of stuff, but like,
This character made such a splash, though, and is so...
Partly because he's the first, like, truly original of this kind of character in a long time.
I think since, like, Columbo, I don't know. When did Murder, She Wrote?
Murder, She Wrote, maybe more than Columbo, because Columbo was a cop. Like, usually they're not this kind of character.
of
I get what
characters who
you're
become iconic in the oeuvre of whodunit murder mystery.
I would say since Murder, She Wrote is a really strong argument, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the genre well enough to be like, well, actually.
Same.
This does make me want to track down. I've been meaning to find the Nero Wolfe novels, if you've ever read any of those.
No, I've heard the name, though.
It's a very Sherlock Holmesian thing, down to like he has his partner Archie who's telling the story, except the difference is Nero Wolfe is a giant fat man that doesn't want to leave his chair.
Mm.
And it's supposed to be real fucking good. So instead of like Sherlock Holmes being like, the game is afoot, I have to go find shit, he's like, no, I am comfortable.
The game is afoot, but I am not.
Archie can go be afoot. I'm staying here. But yeah, this movie is true to the spirit of something that goes all the way back to like the
To fucking
Scarlet
what's
Pimpernel?
no, it's not is it Scarlet Pimpernel? It's
Are you thinking of like C. Auguste Dupin?
yeah, Dupin.
What is okay? What am I?
He's the
thinking of?
detective. Scarlet Pimpernel is the French Revolutionary War character, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not thinking of the same thing.
No, it's Edgar Allan Poe character because he created the gentleman detective archetype.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up because I also went to Scarlet Pimpernel, even though I know that's not.
No, it's the guy from like Murders in Rue Morgue. Purloin Letter?
Yeah, Purloin Letter.
Yeah,
Which I mix with Scarlet Pimpernel just because of the purr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would do that.
But yeah, like that is the first, and you and I have talked about it. We've both read the very first one, and it is a decidedly primitive version of this. It's still a lot of fun, but you can tell that like no one's ever done this before. But it is this movie is absolutely in the legacy of that story while still managing to do very much its own thing and finding that balance of like having a unique voice in a genre without just satirizing the genre. Because that's a good way of like, I want to deal with a genre that I love, but I don't want to just directly mimic someone. Make fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly how I'm most familiar with a lot of whodunits, I think, is like Clue.
And fucking Clue is incredible. There is
Murder by Death.
There is nothing wrong with satirizing a genre like that. But I think in some ways, this is harder.
I think what I appreciate most about this movie is that you can put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the biggest weakness in the genre as a whole is that it's super easy sometimes for authors to introduce something in the summation that there's no way for the reader / watcher to have known.
It absolutely drives me nuts when every once in a while Hercule Poirot is like, they did this. And I'm like, how? And he's like, I don't have to fucking tell you. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're 100% right on that. It was fun to rewatch this because I just rewatched it again relatively recently, like in the last 2 months or so. And close enough that I was able to remember a lot of stuff from it. And I was like, oh, that's definitely a little payoff.
I will say though, if you come up with Ransom's plan without any like it being explained to you first, you're a sociopath.
Agreed. But it is all there.
Yes.
It is all there, yes.
Also, while we're talking about hints, and this is maybe the most in-your-face stupid hint, but like Ransom's name being Ransom and basically blackmailing every person he talks to.
Ransom's name essentially being Huge Ransom.
Yeah. You fucking dickheads. Like, it's
It's great. I like this movie a lot.
I don't know if we have anything more on this movie itself, but we will have more on Benoit Blanc because, okay, we have a couple of things about upcoming episodes. We had a plan for the next episode, but we're going to do Glass Onion next episode because I got excited. The other plans are coming up. Just a quick, I guess, behind the scenes note. So our next, I believe, 4 episodes are going to be a little weird because Steven here is getting married.
Yay.
Again. Because you already married, but now you're getting married.
We paid money for the venue, so we're having the wedding again.
Which is great. But it means that Steven's got so much shit going on, and I have, including Steven's wedding, a 2-week trip coming up. So we are going to kind of batch record a couple of episodes. And what that means for you guys is that for the next probably 4 episodes, we will not be doing What Have You Been Ingesting?
And we'll explain that at the beginning of the next episode as
Yes,
well.
we will talk about this as well. Probably every time. But the episode format is going to be a little different just because we don't have time to spend. At that point, it would be 6 or 7 hours to record these fucking episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to not give you anything.
And we want to keep watching shit.
And we want to keep watching shit. And we love doing what we do.
We could just not do anything, but we're not going to do that.
But also, I really love podcasting with you guys, so can we not do that?
Yeah, let's not do that.
And we have a nice little buffer, and I would hate to fucking kill her. It's so nice.
I would
to
also
have a
hate
buffer.
to kill our buffer.
Yes.
For the record.
For the agreed.
So yeah, that's all. That's
Anyways, the episodes are going to be a little different, but
also, if you have strong opinions one way or the other, let us know how you feel about them. If you like the shorter episodes and think maybe we should kind of split stuff up, there's ways we could do that. Or if you're like, please go back to the other, that just is going to make me feel good about myself. So I would like to hear that too.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, I guess, which is something that we never fucking say, but I probably should more often. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, listeners.
Thank you, listeners.
In the meantime, we're your generals of nerdery. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
Dismissed.
Hi everybody, General Tyler here. If you like the show, please hit subscribe however you're listening to us right now. Also, if you could rate and review us however you're listening to us right now, or preferably over at Apple Podcasts, we would super appreciate it, as the whole world is ran on algorithms, and we want to be all up in them, getting our voice out to more places. Also, tell your friends. We always appreciate that. If you want to get in contact with us, ask us questions, give us comments, email us generalnerderypod@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our website, www.generalnerdcast.com. While you're there, check out all of our back catalog, or click the links up at the top, as we are part of the Earworm Podcast Network. Go check out all of our sister shows. We're involved with most of them, so if you already like listening to us talk, it might be in your best interest. And if you want to check out everything from the network, head over to earworm.com, EARVVYRM.com. We'd super appreciate it. Love you all. Have a good one.